Hello dear viewer, my name is Benny and welcome to my video. Starting with this one, I'm going to try and provide at least one English commentated video per week if everything goes as planned, because even though in my country we are not encouraged to develop our speaking skills, I want to prove myself that I can do it, even though you can obviously see that I have still a lot of work to do, but at least there's something different with me, and in an environment full of English World of Tanks channels, being different is okay. With that being said, I think we can turn our attention on the game, which was played quite a time ago, I think 2 weeks ago, in a platoon with one of my subscribers. And if you want to platoon with me and maybe have a chance of appearing on YouTube, you simply need to add me in game at nobuster1, and when you see me logged in, you simply send me an invite, and if I'm not involved in some clan wars or strongholds where I'm not platooning with anyone else, I will generally accept your invite, but I cannot guarantee that, because sometimes I just want to play myself. So please do not insist. I don't care about your statistics. I mean, I don't care if you are good at the game or you just began. I'm going to play with you either way. The matchmaking in this game was pretty good because we were obviously top tier, but in the enemy team there's only one tier 6 artillery, so I don't need to worry that much about getting one-shotted and punished for simply playing the game. The Hummel needs to pen me at least 2 times in order to kill me, so I can be chill about that. I'm obviously heading for the heavy tank corner because here is where the main fight is going to take place, and I need to get involved into it as soon as possible because I'm the top tier heavy. The IS3 is obviously the tier 8 Russian heavy tank, and when you think about it, there are more premium heavy tanks on the Russians or tier 8 than standard heavy tanks, which is something to take into consideration when thinking about development of this game. By the way, this is not my normal loadout for the ammo. I forgot to change it after I finished my 1v1 tournament, where you obviously need all the RNG in the world, so I sometimes decide to compensate by firing APCR. A true gold spammer would start and fire those premium runs at first sight of that IS6, but I hope that I don't need to dip into that APCR reserve, and that's why I'm sticking with AP, which is more than enough to go through pretty much everything at tier 8 if you're aiming for weak spots, and IS3 is a Russian tank, so we can hit weak spots pretty good obviously. I decided not to cross there at C1 because their mediums were spotted on that hill over there, and I decided that I would lose too much HP for no good reason. Instead, I decided to stay here and provide fire support for my allies while hold down. The IS3 is not a great hold downer because people can shoot your roof and auto pen it extremely easy, especially because IS3 is quite not a tail tank, so staying in the back and damaging their heavy tanks was the correct play here, because I didn't know how competent our heavy tanks would be. It proved that they weren't great unicums. I unfortunately finished my AP reserve, and now I am forced to fire APCR because high explosive would be inefficient in this situation. I noticed the opportunity here, and I need to support my T-32 and maybe flank the T-34B and the IX-6 with my body here, because they are distracted with the T-32, and since I'm hold down, I can spend those hit points by winning this game this way by pushing. We tag together the IS, and now the T-32 turns around and tries to face us. I will take the shot if I can finish out the IS-6, but unfortunately I didn't had enough reload, and I took the shot from the T-32, but fortunately I have free load to finish him off, but I decided not to risk that shot. Instead, he gives me a much easier shot, and I kill him. In this moment, the most important thing is to preserve our hit points as much as possible. I decided to go for the IS-6 because he was spotting for the artillery, and I didn't want the Scorpion to ambush us, so I need to take out the guns as soon as possible. I realized that he dropped down because he couldn't disappear in another way, even though everything is possible with Russian tanks. Again, it's very important to stay together because we still have some HP left and we can take the shots. The worst thing that could happen here would be the Scorpion G to ambush one of us, and he could kill each of us in about 10 seconds. Indeed, the Scorpion tries to flank us, but I decided that the IS-6 is a much important target because he's one shot. I waited for my platoon mate. We didn't talk on Skype or something like that. We were just typing in chat what we needed to communicate. A totally unnecessary APCR round in the Scorpion, and I need to go to kill this IS-6, which bounces 2 times on my armor. Russian armor indeed. The easiest shot ever in his lower plate. 260 pen is overkill for that. Now I decided to load HE because I can pen the Scorpion on the turret with that, and I can one-shot him, which is pretty good because I think he can trade 2 for 1 with me, which is extremely bad because that way I would be dead before I would reload the second time even. The T-34-85 is isolated and we are going back to shoot him. Unfortunately, I still have HE shells loaded, so I couldn't finish him off with one single shot, but my platoon mate does the job. And here I decided to load a PCR. I don't know why. HE would have been a better choice, 10 out of 10. I spotted the Scorpion, which shots me on the move, but I shot him too. I'm angling for the Bulldog, which is unspotted and shooting us from behind. Now me and my platoon mate are both one shot for the Scorpion, and with a single shot the Bulldog managed to kill my loader and my commander, and I decided to heal my commander because it's much important to hit every shot and to spot better than to reload 20 seconds and miss my shot because I have bad accuracy. Unfortunately, my platoon mate died, but that allowed me to finish the Scorpion because he was exposed and on the reload. Now I'm alone against a Bulldog which has an autoloader, and that makes him really dangerous because if I don't kill him with one shot, he can clip me quite easily. There's also the artillery to take into account. The correct play here is to keep the distance and let him do mistakes. It's too risky to change for HE because he may rush me and kill me while I am on a reload. Instead, I decided to go for the APCR and maybe hope for a good damage roll. I decided to push though because I don't want him to make too advanced plays. He tries to flank me, but he underestimated my traverse speed, and I'm already auto-aiming and locking him in place. He didn't have enough spice to avoid me, and since he had a low HP remaining in his tank, I managed to ram him to death, which is hilarious and really good for us because I now can only worry about artillery. The correct play here is to go into the cap because I have better view range because I healed my commander earlier on, and there is no one to spot for the artillery, and artillery without spotting it's pretty useless on these open maps. I can take cover behind this hill and be arty safe for most of my exposure, but I don't want him or her to sneak up behind me, so I decided to use my view range advantage, which is quite a weird thing to say where you're driving a heavy tank. So I climbed into this bush over here, and now I can spot him from pretty much everywhere if he's heading towards me. And indeed I spotted him, but I decided to move downwards just before I spotted him. And I decided to move downwards because if he was looking at the cap and he would have seen those bushes and trees fallen, I would have blind shot in his place, and I don't have enough HP to take a direct hit from him, so I decided to just pick and fall back immediately. I unfortunately missed my shot, and he's well into my one-shot range for the AP, so I don't have any reason whatsoever to risk by loading HE. I decide to change my place. It's not the best place ever because the Arctic could blind shot the bushes, but I will assume he thinks I am behind that rock, and we just need to wait and see what happens. It would be quite a nasty ending for this game because at this point I had about 5k damage, and losing to artillery, it's not the thing you want in life. The IS3 overall, it's a really powerful vehicle. I don't play it all that much because I researched the T10 and I have no reason to play it because I have other grinds to go towards tier 10s where your skills are really put into the test. Here I noticed that someone is in the cap, and guess who is in the cap? Who thinks the Hummel is in the cap and who thinks an alien is in the cap? I bet both, because reasons, and you know, comrade. So I need to be really careful now because he can obviously one-shot me. I don't want to risk the game. I fought so much to win, so I need to break the contact and then find a way to outsmart him. I should obviously flank him, but I don't want to be predictable, so I went a bit forward before getting unspotted, so I hope he thinks I'm still heading towards the direction he points his gun at. Hopefully we'll have enough time to reach there before the game ends. There are only 20 seconds left at this point. He is not looking the correct way, and we shot him down, securing the win. We carried for, and yeah, it was quite a nice game. I made the correct place, and it's nothing more satisfying than winning your games when you took the right decisions. Now let's take a quick look at the game stats. It was an ace tanker, obviously. We managed to secure a high caliber, a top gun and a steel wall for the 5,328 damage done, 1668 base XP, which is the most base XP I got until now. We finished top on damage on the team, and only one other guy in our team got over 2k damage, which is something nice to achieve. Unfortunately, we lost 11k credits because we were forced to fire APCR, but I don't care all that much because I had a good game, and also I didn't lost that much money. I really enjoyed playing this game. It was very intense and I took the right decisions. I noticed the opportunities and took advantage of them, which is a very important part of this game. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider leaving a like, and if you want to see my future videos, you could consider subscribing. I was Benny, and until time, good luck on the battlefield. Salute!